In this video we're going to learn how to use Lightning Editor to easily integrate your Cosmic Frog model with your Snowflake database. So let's start in Snowflake. You can see that I'm logged in here to my console inside the browser. So within my Snowflake console I can access my databases, and I've already created a database called Frog Modeling Data. And within that database I've got a schema called Public, and within there I've got a single table called Customer Data. And if we preview the data, we can see that there's a couple of records of customer data that I want to import into my Cosmic Frog model. So now let's hop across the Cosmic Frog and the Optilogic platform. We can see here that I've already got a model created. It's called snowflake.frog, and this model is empty. We can see that the customer table's got no data in it, and this is where we want to land that data that's coming in from Snowflake. Now to do this, we're going to run a script. So we're going to use Lightning Editor, which is our easy way of editing parameters in the script and running it. And this script is going to connect to that Snowflake database, extract the data, then it's going to write it directly into that Cosmic Frog customer table. You'll also notice there's a requirements.txt file that came down with the template from the resource library. It's important that this sits in the same folder as the Python script. And this is just referring to a Python library, snowflake.sqlalchemy, that this script is going to use when we run the integration. So the first thing we need to do is update the parameter section of our script. You don't need to worry about anything else in this script. And the first bit is referring to the Cosmic Frog model that we want to write the data to. So we could integrate against an existing model that's already created and maybe already has data in it. Or we could go and create a new Cosmic Frog model and integrate that. So once we've created or selected our Cosmic Frog model, we can go into Cloud Storage. And in Cloud Storage, we can easily get the connection information. So we're going to go and copy this SQLAlchemy connection string. Then we can go back to the script. And then in the script, we can replace that connection string, and this is now defining that when the data lands, it's going to land inside this model. So the next thing we need to do is put in the credentials for the Snowflake account where the database sits. So we can move back across to the admin board. If we go into admin for Snowflake and we go to accounts, then we can see the information that we need here in terms of the location and the account within that location. You can also get to that easily by clicking down here, and you get a preview of the organization and the account details. You can click here to copy the account identifier. So if you click that and you move back over to Lightning Editor, then that can be pasted directly in. Just note that it has a dot, and that needs to be changed to a dash for it to authenticate on Snowflake correctly. And then finally, we need to provide the connectivity information. So the compute warehouse in Snowflake where this database sits, the database itself, and the schema that we want to be able to reference. So again, we can go across to Snowflake and we'll go back to data. And in data, we can see that we've got the Frog Modeling Data database, and we're using the public schema. That's where that table sits. So we can set that to Frog Modeling Data, the database, and the schema to public. And then we need to enter the compute warehouse that we're using to do the processing. So I'm able to see this if I go into the table itself, for example, and I go to data preview, then we can see here that this is the compute warehouse. Wherever we execute anything, this is where the compute's happening. So we can take compute WH and we can put that across as the Snowflake warehouse. And that's it. We're ready to go. So we can run that module in Lightning Editor. We can select different resource configurations if we want to, but we actually don't need much processing power. This is a pretty simple script. And if we run that module, that will execute and it will run as a job. So we can also go and monitor how that job is running. So now that job is completed successfully, we can go into the Cosmic Frog model. And we can see that in the customer table, the data that also resides in that Snowflake database has been brought into our platform and landed directly in that customer table for that Cosmic Frog model. So we've seen a really simple example of how we can connect directly to Snowflake databases and import data into Cosmic Frog models. Of course, we could be pushing data back, and In practice, it would be a lot more sophisticated. We could bring in lots of different tables. We could transform that data on the way in if we wanted to. So easy as pie. Go to the resource library, download it, and you can connect up your Cosmic Frog models to your Snowflake databases.